I completed a month-long road trip around the Baltic. My goal was to explore the countries, nature, people, and history of this region. It was my route across Northern Europe. Part 2. Lithuania. Later that morning, I crossed the border into Lithuania. I visited the Trakai Castle Hill, whose origins date back to the 13th century. It was one of the oldest defensive sites in the region. Watchtowers and walls still stand here today, now forming part of a museum dedicated to Lithuanian history and culture. The main goal of the day, however, was the island castle. Trakai Island Castle on Lake Galve was built in the 14th century as a defensive fortress. It was once accessible by a wooden bridge connecting the island with the mainland. Today, it serves as a lively place of leisure. I spent the night by the lakeshore near a residential area close to the capital, Vilnius. In the morning, I headed into the city and joined a very interesting tour focused on the hidden and lesser-known side of Vilnius. The place that impressed me the most was Užupis, a Bohemian district that symbolically declared itself an independent republic in 1997. It has its own constitution and even border signs. Buses here also carry symbols of support for Ukraine. Lithuania has excellent signage for historical sites, much like most Nordic countries.
Je to celá kopa v lese, tu jedna, tu na opačnej zase strane je ďalšia, týmto za stromami potom ďalšia a ďalšia. Som na pohrebnom starobylom mieste.
And all that green everywhere, those are wild blueberries. And as usual, I spent the night by a lake. I dedicated this day to moving back to the sea. The southeast was a land of asbestos roofs. They were on almost every house and barn, a reminder of the time when this hazardous material was commonly used. The southwest, on the other hand, felt like a land of storks. Nests stood on poles, roofs and chimneys. They were everywhere. My first stop was Mingė village, often called the Lithuanian Venice. Here, the Mingė River replaces the main street, and there is no bridge between the two banks. Later, I also visited the lighthouse at Cape Ventė, a small peninsula in the Nemunas Delta in western Lithuania, known for its historic lighthouse.
Páni, konečne som pri Baltiku. Je to síce len záliv, zajtra budem pri mori, ale som tu po týždni. Čaute.
I spent the night at a place with a beautiful sunset, from where I could see the Curonian Spit on the other side of the lagoon. My visit to the Curonian Spit did not disappoint. The spit can only be reached by ferry from Klaipėda. It is a narrow strip of sand between the Baltic Sea and the Curonian Lagoon, shaped over centuries by wind and sea currents. The most famous are the Dead Dunes, which rise up to 60 meters high. That evening, I stayed near the dune ridge at a quiet place by the sea. It was truly a beautiful place. Stunning beaches and ice-cold water. I stayed there for 2 days. I also went to see the border between the free world and the world beyond, the Kaliningrad Enclave. I visited the Hill of Witches as well, a forest path lined with wooden sculptures inspired by Lithuanian legends. I took the ferry back to the city of Klaipėda. Although many buildings still date from the socialist era, the streets feel spacious. I used the opportunity to visit the Maritime Museum, the military ship M52 Sūduvis, which was a minesweeper and served for 22 years. I spent the rest of the day driving. I stayed overnight by Lake Plateliai, which is located in Žemaitija National Park in northwestern Lithuania. I was lucky with the weather. The clouds were moving exactly in the direction of my journey. In the afternoon, I arrived at the Hill of Crosses. It is a well-known Lithuanian pilgrimage site with thousands of crosses. The tradition dates back to the 19th century, and the place became a symbol of Lithuanian faith and identity. Later that day, I moved on to Lake Pavėsinė in Žemaitija National Park in northwestern Lithuania, where I stayed overnight. The lake was formed after the retreat of a glacier, like most Lithuanian lakes, and a small stream flows out of it. Before noon, I crossed the border into Latvia, and I will tell you more about that in the next part.